Hi, this is Mrs. D, and I'm going to do for Unit 1A Test Review the problem 1A. Let f of x equal the natural log of x. For what values of x is f of x or y less than or equal to 2? Since this is on the calculator portion of my test review, I'm going to use my calculator to help solve this problem. In y1, I'm going to input the natural log of x. When I look at my graphing calculator, I see that my curve is approaching the y-axis. It almost looks on the calculator that it stops at a -2, but we know that there's a vertical asymptote there and that my x is approaching 0. So I know on the interval where y is less than or equal to 2, x is going to approach 0 and it never quite touches it, so there's the parentheses 0. But when I try to find out where it's going to end on my right-hand side, I see that it's somewhere between a 7 and an 8, my x value, but I don't have an exact value for x. So what I'm going to do is I use another function on my calculator. I'm going to go back to my y equal, and in y1 I'm going to keep the function, the natural log of x, but in y2 I'm going to put in a 2. Once I do that, I'm going to hit the second trace to get to this calculator menu, and I'm going to select intersect, because what I'm trying to find is, here's the natural log and it's curving around like this, and here is where y equal 2, and what I want to find is this exact intersection point. So once I hit 5, my calculator is going to come to this screen, and if I hit enter 3 times, I'm going to find out the exact intersection point where y equal to x is equal to a 7.389. As I mentioned, the natural log has an asymptote along the y-axis where x is equal to 0. Since it's a parent function, it's going to go through that point, 1, 0. My curve is going to curve around and it's going to try and touch that y-axis, but it never can. It never can quite ever reach x equals 0. So when I write the interval for this solution, I'm going to use a parenthesis and a 0, comma, and then I'm going to use an exact value of where y is equal to 2 because it said less than or equal to 2, and that is going to be 7.389. I asked my students to go to 3 decimal places unless otherwise stated, so I'm going to close this off with a square bracket because it is asking me for where y is less than or equal to 2, x is 7.389. So for what values of x is f of x less than or equal to 2? It is where x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 7.389.